I came into walking accidentally. I when I was a little girl, I was pretty convinced I was going to be famous and a movie star or maybe a singer or a dancer, and but I was definitely the largest child in school, in elementary school and in middle school, and um, I was, made fun of quite often because my size was quite a bit bigger. And I became comfortable with that. I became a good sport and just, I was in this mindset that this is just the way I am. This is going to be the way that I am always going to be. So I left school at an early age just to quiet the noise and got a job at Dairy Queen and enjoyed more treats, enjoyed, all of that life had to offer. And by the time I was about 25, 26, I was a single mom to a 5-year-old boy. And I had gallstones, I had problems, I was borderline pre-diabetic,
Hmm.
and my son started school, and I had to walk him to school every morning because we didn't have a car. And it wasn't very far. It was about 2 blocks all downhill. But the problem was I had to walk back up the hill. And everybody could see me, and everybody could see that I was overweight and panting and sweating, and it was hard. And maybe they would think that I was trying to lose weight, and they'd laugh at me. And so I found the long way to come home. I purposefully took 30 minutes to get home so that I could go around the hill and up gradually. But what happened is I became a completely different person, both physically and mentally. And I like to call it my accidental weight loss. I would have never done it had I not had to commute. And
Hmm.
I think that what a lot of us do is that when we go set out to make a fitness goal and a health goal, we have this misconception that we have to do a lot to get what we want out of it. But the one thing that we need to know is why we're doing it. But it doesn't have to be a big reason. It
Hmm.
can literally be a commute. I think a lot of times we overthink getting started. So my first tip would be just do it. I know it sounds simple, but you got to just fit in the time, make it small, make it 10 to 20 minutes and just go and do it, and then watch that accumulate over time. So start by looking at your schedule for the
Hmm.
week. I always have a habit of looking at my schedule either Monday morning first thing or Sunday night. And I've done this for so long, I have it in my head, like I kind of know what I'm going to do, but then I put it down on paper, and you schedule in when you're going to take their walks. Now, I recommend choosing one of 3 times. It's either first thing in the morning or at lunchtime or after dinner. And here's why, because it's attached to something else. So in the morning, you wake up, and if you go for a walk, you can do it before anybody or anything ever needs you. So that's for the person that just can't seem to pull themselves away, a real people pleaser.
Hmm.
I'm like that. That's how I became a morning person, was because if I don't do it in the morning, I will never get it done. Right.
Right.
And then there's the lunchtime walk, which you are, you know, most people do have a lunch hour or a lunch break, or, it doesn't have to be at that time, but it is a time where you break away from your work day. And, you can either have a light meal and go for a walk, or go for a walk and then have your light meal. It doesn't matter what order, put it in the order that makes sense to you, or after dinner. Again, it's something that you can attach something to.
Hmm.
Um, Kind of like tiny habits, but you want to make them a little bit bigger. It started a chain of just new events. I thought, well, I could eat a little bit healthier. And, after gallbladder removal, it feels better
Right.
to eat
Yeah.
better. And so I was just kind of going by feel. feeling better each day, enjoying what I was seeing in the mirror. It didn't it didn't take very long for me to understand that the walking was connected to it,
Hmm.
connected to my whole sense of worth. I was thinking more back then. We didn't have I didn't have like a Walkman. If I wanted to bring music with me, it would have been like this big, in
Sure.
my
Yeah. Yeah.
pocket. So I was forced to think about, where I was, what I was doing with my life. And after that happened, I thought, well, what else can I do that I didn't think I could do? It just opened up so many doors for me because I had put myself in the mindset that I I'm never able to change
Well, and that's where I
to
wanted to go with it because it really
yeah.
is a holistic approach, and it involves
Hmm.
the mind, the body, the purpose, your spirit. And a lot of times, when we have something that's holding us back, it's a subconscious
Yeah.
mindset, and that's the realm where I work with individuals with helping them through their anxieties, fears, limiting beliefs, and self doubts. And so, if you're a little overweight, for example, you may feel like I don't deserve for some reason in your subconscious mind, and you don't know why, but I don't
Yeah.
deserve to be that thin, beautiful person, or you know, I I have an anxiety. I can't go hiking and stand at the edge of this cliff because I have this anxiety of heights. All of that's in the mind.
Yes.
All of that can be transformed very easily.
Yes.
You just have to kind of be willing to put yourself out there and do it and do some work. And, you know, I work with individuals and we go through a process of subconscious mindset transformation. You're kind of doing the same
Hmm.
thing by getting individuals that you work with out walking, probably without that stereo where, there's nothing
Yeah.
else in their head except,
Yes.
what they want to focus on, and starting to believe that, hey, look at me, I've been walking for a week. I can do this.
I think it's really difficult work that you do, and necessary work that you do, because the more we get to know ourselves, the more I find things open up, opportunities open up. It's like, oh, that's why I feel this way. Well, I can go back and I can repair this
Right.
so that the next time I feel that way, I can move through it.
Yeah, I think that's
And I just
beautiful.
love
And
that.
and I agree. I mean, and that's where the self-care comes in. That's so important that we
Mhm.
try to be there for so many other people, our spouses, our family, our kids or whatever. But if we don't take care of who we are, then
Yes.
we're not really there for them at the level that we need to be.